Level 10. Groom of the Stool. Let's start with a job that sounds like a nightmare, but was secretly one of the most powerful positions in the kingdom. The Groom of the Stool. His responsibility? To assist the king during his most private moments. Yes, this meant helping him use the toilet. But here's what makes it fascinating. In a world where access to the king meant everything, this person had daily, private conversations with the most powerful man in the land. No guards listening, no court politics, just you and the king. Over time, these men became trusted advisors, handling finances, secrets, and sensitive matters of the state. Some even rose to positions of immense wealth and influence. So, while the job sounds humiliating, it was actually a hidden path to power. Level 9. Jester. Now imagine a job where your life depends on making someone laugh. Welcome to the life of a medieval jester. Dressed in bright, ridiculous clothing. Performing tricks, songs, and jokes. Jesters were more than entertainers. They were observers of society. They could say things no one else dared to say. Mock nobles. Tease the king. Expose uncomfortable truths. And somehow, survive. But this freedom came with risk. Because humor is unpredictable. One bad joke, one wrong moment, and suddenly, the laughter stops. And in medieval times, silence could be deadly. Level 8. Sign Eater. Now things begin to feel unsettling. Picture a funeral. A grieving family stands around a body, and beside them is a man, waiting quietly. He steps forward, takes a piece of bread placed on the corpse, and eats it. This is the Sign Eater, a mysterious figure believed to absorb the sins of the dead, allowing their soul to pass on in peace. But there was a cost. Sign Eaters were often feared, avoided, and treated as outcasts. People believed they carried the weight of countless souls. They lived on the edges of society, helping the dead, but never truly accepted by the living. Level 7. Alchemist. In a dimly lit room filled with strange symbols, bubbling liquids, and ancient books, an alchemist works in silence. Their goal? To unlock the secrets of the universe, to turn ordinary metal into gold, to discover the elixir of life, to cheat death itself. Alchemists were dreamers, thinkers, risk-takers. Some were respected as scholars. Others were seen as dangerous, even fraudulent, because in a time ruled by religion and fear of the unknown, experimenting with nature could easily be mistaken for something darker. Still, they laid the foundation for what would eventually become modern science. Level 6. Ratcatcher. Now we enter a world of real danger. The streets are crawling with rats. In times like the Black Death, these tiny creatures carried unimaginable destruction. Entire towns could be wiped out, and standing between survival and disaster was the Ratcatcher. Armed with traps, tools, and sometimes bare hands, they hunted rats in homes, sewers, and alleyways. Every corner was a risk. Every bite, potentially fatal, but without them, the spread of disease would have been unstoppable. Level 5. Town Crier. Hear ye! Hear ye! The voice echoes through the streets. In a time when most people couldn't read, the town crier was the living newspaper. They announced laws, royal decrees, punishments, and urgent warnings. But this job came with a dangerous twist. If the news upset people, the anger didn't go to the king. It went to the messenger. Town criers needed powerful voices, strong presence, and the courage to stand in front of a crowd that might turn on them at any moment. Level 4. Barber Surgeon. Now we step into something truly terrifying. You walk into a barbershop expecting a haircut, but instead, you might leave without a tooth, or worse, a limb. Barber surgeons were responsible for medical procedures. They performed bloodletting, pulled teeth, treated wounds, and yes, even amputations, all without proper anesthesia. No sterile tools, no modern understanding of infection, just raw skill, and a patient hoping to survive. The iconic red and white barber pole? It's said to represent blood and bandages, a reminder of a time when medicine was as dangerous as the illness itself. Level 3. Gong Farmer. Now we reach a job so unpleasant, Most people refused to do it at any cost. Gong farmers. Their task? To remove human waste from cesspits and toilets. By hand. In the middle of the night. The smell was overwhelming. The conditions were toxic, and one wrong step could mean falling into the pit itself. But here's the surprising part. They were paid well, because when a job is this bad, money is the only thing convincing someone to do it. Level 2. Leech Collector. Picture standing in a cold, muddy swamp, your legs submerged in water. Waiting. Slowly, you feel it. A leech attaches to your skin, then another, and another. Leech collectors allowed these creatures to feed on their blood, so they could later be used in medical treatments. It was painful, exhausting, and incredibly dangerous. Too many leeches, and you could lose a dangerous amount of blood. But demand was high, and someone had to do it. Level 1. Executioner. And finally, the darkest job of them all, the executioner, tasked with carrying out punishments often in front of crowds, beheadings, torture, death. At first glance, it might seem like a position of authority, but the reality was far worse. Executioners were feared, avoided, isolated. People refused to touch them, speak to them, even live near them. They existed on the edge of society. And mentally, imagine the toll of ending lives, again and again.